Right now, I'm going to take you along with me on a nature journaling hike in the tropical rainforest. I'm at Las Cruces Biological Station in Coto Brus, Costa Rica. This is the southernmost part of Costa Rica. Famous biological station. People do a lot of research here, and it's been in conservation for decades. So they have primary forests also, and we're going to do a nature journaling hike. So you might be thinking, nature journaling and hiking don't really go hand in hand, do they? Well, this is going to be a little bit different of an episode because I probably will be walking more than I usually do when I go out nature journaling, and I'm going to be talking about how to balance covering ground and walking and nature observation with actually getting nature journaling done, because I think this is an important topic and sometimes it's pretty tricky to find the balance. In most of my videos, I talk about just getting started right away and nature journaling anything and not waiting for the perfect subject, because a lot of times we use that idea of the perfect subject and that we're waiting for something really cool to draw to nature journal. We use that unintentionally as a form of procrastination, and we never end up nature journaling. And you've probably also seen in a lot of my other videos that I don't really hike very far. I just start nature journaling things, right in the backyard basically. But sometimes it is good to move a little bit farther. And what I'm doing today is I'm gonna try to cover a little bit more ground, be a little bit mobile so I can get out to some of these deeper parts of this nature preserve and research station. My goal is to try to see stuff that I've never seen before, especially snakes. I really would like to find some of the more challenging snakes to see and nature journal those. Here's a fallen tree fern with my normal sort of nature journaling perspective with my lantern awareness versus spotlight awareness. I would just start nature journaling that fallen tree fern back there and probably spend the whole day there, or I might not even get past the basic facilities of the station because I'll just nature journal there. But today I'm going to show you something a little bit different. There's lots of these holes in the bank. I don't know what lives in these. It could be there's a really large rodent here, an agouti, that could be the one that's making those holes and using them. I'm not sure. But today I'm going to take you on a little bit more of an exploration. We're going to go on an adventure together. Hopefully we'll see some cool stuff. And, if I find the right thing, I will whip out my nature journal and be ready to nature journal. But I'm not going to get my nature journal out right away. I know I'm going against everything that I've said in the past, but I'm going to keep my nature journal in my bag for now. Look, there's got to be a snake hiding in here somewhere. I'm going to keep my nature journal in my bag for the time being. I'm going to share, the exciting things I see along the way, the exciting mud that I sink into along the way. Wow, look at this right here. I'm going to check this stuff all at night. I'm going to come back out at night to look for snakes again. But right now, we're going to go on a little bit of a hike with some nature journaling sprinkled on top. Check out this awesome strangler fig. So originally, what was that? I think there's a big bird up in there. So originally, this had another tree in the middle that has since died and rotted, leaving this amazing scaffolding basically. Look how it's hollow in there. And the way these things get started is it's a small fruit, a fig, an even smaller seed inside that fig gets pooped by a bird up in a canopy of another tree. That seed germinates and little by little builds up enough energy. I'm not sure how they must be getting water up there, growing as an epiphyte and getting nutrients in some way, sending roots down little by little. Eventually, some of those roots will reach the ground. It starts getting nutrients from the soil then, and little by little, it keeps sending down more roots and eventually covers the whole tree. Pretty cool. Ficus. So they're in the Moraceae, the mulberry and fig family. My favorite tree family. Mulberries, the Mayan nut or bread nut, Brosimum alocastrum, jackfruit is in that family. A whole bunch of cool things. Figs, strangler figs. It's a very cool family. Check out this awesome stream I have to cross. This is the Rio Java, the biggest river here at Las Cruces, I think. Very cold water. I swam in there yesterday. Now I have to cross and go up that crazy trail up that way. Right after that creek crossing, you have to go basically straight uphill. I don't film when I do creek crossings anymore, even though it's very tempting because it's aesthetically very interesting. But last year I slipped doing a creek crossing almost about a year ago, a little bit less than a year ago. I slipped and fractured my left patella on a crazy hike in these cloud forests in central Costa Rica. And luckily I was with Esteban Lobo and he helped me out and helped give me emotional support hiking out of there in really bad pain. I didn't know it was fractured for like 2 months. I continued my travels and didn't even know it was fractured for like 2 months. Ooh, what's that? Okay, I think it's a wren. Maybe it's the scale-breasted wren. If I see any life birds, I'm gonna stop. So much for moving quickly and just hiking. I stopped and started birding, got totally distracted, and saw 2 life birds. As you know, if you've been following me recently, I have been addicted to birding. I used to make fun of the people that were always trying to get new birds on their life list, but now I am one of those people, and the Merlin app and the eBird app definitely make it more fun, more easy, and more addictive. They gamify birding, and I think one of the things that I've learned is that it would be awesome if we could come up with an app for nature journaling, that gamified nature journaling. Oh my god, what in the world is that? Okay, orange on the face, exposed skin around face, striping on back, head, crest, quail-like, short, it's got like cryptic modeling. Oh my god. Some type of crazy quail-like bird. I'm gonna look it up on the app right now. On Merlin, you can explore birds that are known to be in that area, and that can really help with identification, all right on your phone. Check out this video right here where I describe how to use Merlin and eBird combined to help you identify birds. Wow, that's amazing. That's the kind of bird that's often hard to see. So with this, what you can do is open up Merlin, choose Explore Birds. In Explore Birds, choose Organized by Family, and then search for the family that you think the bird is. And this way I easily found the quail. As I was saying, what if we could create an app that gamified nature journaling in a way like eBird and Merlin do, especially Merlin, I feel like. How could we make an app for nature journaling like that? Because, Merlin and eBird are really cool, but in a way they're sort of passive. All you're doing is collecting. They definitely emphasize the collecting part. which collecting is something humans really like to do. What if there was a way we could make it more like nature journaling that kind of promotes this like deeper investigation, curiosity, wonder, and more of a creative engagement with the natural world, even more than just collecting. If you're an app developer, send me an email and let's talk. It would be amazing. It would also be great if it was a concerted effort that kind of took inputs from the nature journaling community at large, or some of the thought leaders in the nature journaling community. But how cool would that be? I have to climb up that right there. Looks like the trail kind of washed out here. Cool creek. Look at all this sedimentation. Alright, so I just stumbled into one of these classic neotropical things, which is a mixed flock. I don't think this really happens in North America, and I'm not sure if it happens in the old world tropics, but in the neotropics you get these mixed flocks where there's multi-species of birds. In this case, ant following birds. So these birds are of different species, but they'll be in a group where with other species that they regularly associate with, and I think in some cases they even nest near each other, and it can be like a multi-generational thing. And supposedly sometimes they even like fight with other ones. Oh shit. Okay, I need to figure out what this bird is. I'll be right back. Dang it, I couldn't figure out what that bird is. But basically, what I was saying is there are groups of birds that travel with the army ants or follow army ants and eat the bugs and other things that get scared up by the army ants. So it's super cool. I just ran into one of those, saw at least 3 life birds and 1 mystery bird that I can't figure out what it is. Really weird birds, really cool, lots of diversity, really hard to see. It started getting really dark, and I think it's gonna start pouring rain at any point now. I don't have my umbrella, and I'm probably at the furthest out part on this path right now. So I need to get back to the loop, back to the ridge trail. It's the steepest trail on the entire place, and cruise back because I have this Patagonia jacket, which is mostly waterproof, but doesn't cover me up completely. So I might have to put my emergency plan into place and use a little dry bag that I have packed away to store my nature journal and my watercolors, the 2 things that I'm most worried about getting wet because they're irreplaceable. So I'm gonna try to just focus on walking quickly here. I think I hear the rain falling already. But this is also a really cool forested area. I think I'm through the secondary forest chunk shown on the map and back into the primary forest section here. Another really important thing about tropical ecology is trees falling. A lot of these places have regular disturbances because of trees falling. Why do trees fall? The soil a lot of times is shallow. And they get so heavy up there, especially with epiphytes, all kinds of different plants, mosses, bromeliads, orchids, vines, lianas growing all over them. Look at this, the soil is often really shallow. There's a really thin layer of good soil, if any at all, with organic matter, and then there's often clay right underneath, or leached, some type of leached soil. In this case, it's clay, and it looks to me like there's just inches of topsoil for those roots to hold on to. Those trees get so heavy in rain, all of that moss and everything absorbing tons of water. Look at it, it's like a huge sponge. Just think of the thousands of pounds of water in a big rain, and then not to mention the winds, if there's winds. So these trees falling down is really, really important part of tropical ecology, and they open up these gaps, because otherwise, look how little light gets down here. So little light gets down here, things grow really slowly. It's hard for new trees to replace the old ones. Seeds might not germinate. There's so little light. But when those trees fall down, they open up what's called a forest gap. These forest gaps lead to succession. Succession is a super important concept to understand in ecology, wherever you live in the world. It's very important, and humans, whether they use the word succession ecology or not, have been manipulating succession for millions of years, since before we were Homo sapiens sapiens, because a lot of times the foods that we eat grow. Look at this fallen tree right here. A lot of times the foods that we eat and we prefer grow in those early successional ecosystems. The pioneer species, the first ones that come into those areas. So we've been creating disturbances for thousands and thousands of years, millions of years, and probably millions of years. And that way promoting the species that we like. So in the tropical rainforests like this, if there aren't humans causing disturbance, there's natural disturbances when those huge trees fall. Look at those buttress roots. Those buttress roots, one of the theories about them is that they help stabilize trees in really shallow soils. They help stabilize the trees so the trees don't fall over. Those big trees don't want to fall over. So anyways, fallen trees and forest gaps. Look at these. These are the wild pig, the type of wild pigs they have here. It's a type of peccary, actually. All the New World Suidae, pig family is Suidae. All of the New World Suidae are types of peccaries. We don't have true pigs in the New World that are native. However, the introduced ones have done pretty well. Not down here though, interestingly. That's probably their feeding sign right there. Looks a lot like wild boar feeding sign in Northern California. So these forest gaps, it's something to know about. It's something to look at. So I just looked at my phone and saw this. Did I take a wrong turn? I just got a message on my phone from my mobile provider. They think I'm in Panama. I guess this mountain and this jungle here is close enough. Somehow thinks I'm in Panama. Hopefully that doesn't mess up my cell phone coverage or anything. Welcome to Panama, nature journaling in Panama. All right. Wow. This is an intense trail and I still got a ways to go uphill before I can even get to the part where I start heading back. Okay, it's starting to drizzle, but it's still pretty hot. So putting on this jacket is gonna suck because with the strenuous hike I have ahead of me, I'm not even halfway. I'm not even to the place where I can start hiking back yet. I'll be sweating like crazy. And so what I think I'm gonna do before it starts pouring rain, since I don't have my umbrella today, I got pretty wet yesterday even with the umbrella. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh crap, hear that? What was that? I think there's two cans. I think there's two cans above me dropping branches on me. I'm gonna go ahead and put my nature journal and my watercolor into the small. This is my emergency dry bag. It's really small. It's not big enough to fit my whole nature journal kit, but it's not bulky and it's enough to fit my sketchbook, my 8 by 12, 9 by 12 sketchbook, and my watercolor palette. Okay, so now that those are in there, the worst case scenario is that I get wet, especially like my pants and lower body. My upper body will stay dry, but probably get soaked in sweat. This whole nature journal kit is probably gonna get wet, but nothing else in there is gonna get damaged besides what's in here. It's 12 o'clock and I sort of timed it bad today in terms of getting back to camp. I think I just got too distracted birding, and this trail ended up being a little bit slower than I was expecting, but I'm gonna try to hoof it back and hopefully it'll still be lunch and hopefully I won't be too soaked this time. Oh man, Just what I need. Look at this tree fell right across the path. This could have been last night. And just what I need is to slow down right now. But slow is better than going too fast and getting hurt, because I'm out here pretty far from the station by myself. This would be a great place for one of those Bothriechis superciliaris to be hiding, or another snake. So I'm gonna just take it real easy, try not to slip or anything, and get through this safely. Those fallen trees like that are the main reason why you don't want to be out here when it's really rainy, because you don't want a tree to fall on you. Dang, I thought I was done with the uphill part. Guess not. Okay, so I'm up on the ridge now, a little bit more exposed to elements, and there's more fallen trees that haven't been cleared out of the path yet. I hope that I didn't miss the fork in the road, because I want to go back on the loop and not continue deeper into the forest. So hopefully the tree fall wasn't on the hopefully that tree fall wasn't on top of the sign where the little T in the road is. Something just flew in my ear. Man, I hope I didn't. Oh wait, yes, okay. Whew, here we go. Yes, I was worried that I might have been accidentally on this ridge trail, but as you can see here, the most important thing is station that way. Oh man. Okay, still got a significant distance to go, basically, from right here all the way back through this that I hiked yesterday, all the way back to here. So according to this, let's see, ridge, it's basically like almost, let's see, combine the Java Trail with the Ridge Trail. Java Trail is 1.5 kilometers plus 1.7, so 3 kilometers. So I guess I'm gonna be missing lunch today. Hopefully they save some for me, because I'm probably gonna be really hungry when I get back. Plus, I need to remember that I need energy tonight, because I'm planning on doing, oh, look at that downhill. There might be some slipping and sliding going on here. I need to remember though that tonight I need to have some energy, because I want to do a big night hike looking for snakes tonight. Oh, what's that? Hummingbird. Oh, crap. Oh, there's totally water all over my binoculars. No. Wait, still there, still there, still there, still there. Ooh, it's a hermit. Wait, sparkling green? Oh no, it's not a hermit. It's got white on the face, short bill. Does it have white underneath? Bill is curved downwards. And it's gone. Might be like. Okay, so this is really awesome. Ridge Trail, and you know, you come here and it's like, looks like the clear way to go is that way. A whole tree falling over there covering that up. But if you don't look at the sign, this right here, the Gamboa Trail, that is the longest trail on the whole place, and it ends up way, way, way far away, with no loop back. If you didn't look at the sign, you wouldn't realize, you know, gotta bushwhack through here a little bit to get back on the main trail. Man, I hope there's a really good lunch waiting for me. Look at this. Where the heck? Not really sure which is the easiest way to get through here. Easiest and safest. I'm gonna try going off trail. Going around this way. Just gotta keep my eyes really open. Oh, one thing this is a good time to mention. I feel like my eyesight is getting worse. I mean, I'm sure my eyesight's been getting worse for a while, but I think on this trip, while I was in Ecuador, I was starting to notice that it takes me way longer when I look up from my nature journal page, if I'm sketching something or getting tangled in vines. If I'm sketching something and then I look up, it takes me way longer to focus on distant objects. So, oh, here we go. Okay, made it. So, isn't that lovely? You know, scrambling through the underbrush in the rainforest, having just seen all the pit vipers that people have been reporting on iNaturalist, and knowing your vision is deteriorating. Yes, I'm getting older and my vision is deteriorating. My distance vision, binoculars help for sure once I know where the things are. But, oh, there's one of those frogs that squirts stuff out of its butt. So, I'm probably gonna need to get glasses. I might look into getting glasses next time I'm back in the States, or maybe it's cheaper down here to get glasses. The thing I'm worried about is them fogging up and how compatible they are with binoculars. I've noticed with sunglasses, sometimes it's really hard. It's not really hard, but it slows me down a couple seconds getting things in focus. And what that means is I'm gonna lose certain birds, certain animals. I won't have my binoculars up and ready in time to see them. Plus, with the humidity, nature journaling at night in the tropical rainforest, oh, there went a little bird, could be trickier if I'm wearing glasses because they fog up. What about contact lenses? Maybe I should get contact lenses. Well, that's all fine, except when you're traveling and your hands are dirty, you're in the tropical rainforest. That's a pretty bird sound. So anyways, I'm not complaining, but I am a little sad. I think, you know, I haven't necessarily been like proud of my eyesight. Maybe I have been proud of my eyesight. I've had better than 20/20 vision for most of my life, and I was often the person who's like seeing things and then people are like, oh wow, you have really good eyes. So maybe I have identified with that. And you know, part of life is losing things and downgrading sometimes. Oh, shit, what the? Whoa, that startled me. Some large bird, probably a crested guan. I guess it could have been a curassow. Whew. Okay, anyways, so that's a rant about my eyesight. Maybe you'll see me soon with glasses on. I think I'll look good in glasses, so I'm looking forward to that part. I don't really have eyebrows, so I think aesthetically my face is lacking some like dark lines. And I think that, you know, with some dark rimmed black sunglasses, could be good for my look. So I'm looking forward to that part. I'm just a little bit worried about how compatible they'll be with nature journaling in extreme tropical situations. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now I should probably focus on getting out of this jungle. Oh, I wonder if these are strangler fig roots right here. Look at, whoa. Yes, the good news is I made it to the ridge trail. So all of this I walked yesterday, so I already know this. The bad news is it's still a pretty long hike. At least I thought it was a really long hike yesterday. The other good news is I thought it was already 12 o'clock and that I was gonna be missing lunch because I have like an hour ahead of me, 3 kilometers of hiking to go. But suddenly I looked at my phone and it says 11:30 instead of 12:30. So I think I was close enough to Panama that my phone switched to thinking it was in Panama and switched the time. Maybe Panama's on a different time zone because now suddenly it's 11:30 again and I have plenty of time. I might even have time to jump in the river and cool down before getting back to the science station. Before my time on my phone changed back to 11:30 and I thought it was 12 or 12:30. I was gonna make a comment about how the good news is that this time yesterday it was already really raining. Now it sounds like it's actually gonna start raining, and I'm realizing it's almost the exact same time it started raining yesterday. And yesterday I was getting out from a quick dunk, cold plunge in the river, and right now I'm not quite to the river yet. So yesterday, once it started, it was a pretty good rain. So I'm ready. I'll get soaked and it'll be fine. No umbrella this time, but I got my Patagonia jacket, which is pretty good. Keep my upper body and my essential stuff will stay dry. So here we go. I feel it coming now. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I put my Patagonia jacket on. It's supposed to be for fly fishing, but I got it used. I like to shop on the used Patagonia website. So it's made for fly fishing, and it's also for a slightly smaller person than me, but it's used. It's good to buy used clothes, and Patagonia is really good in terms of their environmental standards. So what I do is I tighten the strap on my Nature Journal bag all the way, the shoulder strap, and I put it on, then I put the jacket on. So the jacket is going to be partially covering my Nature Journal bag, and worst case scenario, I can hold my Nature Journal bag up under here. This is what I had to do yesterday. Even with the umbrella, I did this, and it helped keep my Nature Journal bag dry. It's still accessible. So like if I really want a nature journal or want to get something out of there, it can still be accessible in this jacket setup. And if this were like a bigger size jacket, it would probably cover it even better. So get a slightly big jacket or potentially even a poncho, and you can keep your Nature Journal bag underneath that waterproof layer. Okay, I'm almost back to the station. I'm getting pretty wet from the sweat and from the rain. Did I get what I wanted out of this trip? Well, it ended up being just a hike, and I didn't even pull out my Nature Journal, but I think it's okay. Sometimes that happens. Usually I talk about how bad of a thing it is to go on a hike and never pull out your Nature Journal, but it all depends about your intentions and your self-awareness. So for some of us, going on a hike and not pulling out our Nature Journal might actually be just the thing that we needed to freshen up a little bit, mix it up a little bit, but most of all, be self-aware, practice self-awareness, and try to be intentional about what your nature journaling is for and what each session is for. All right, thanks to all my Patreon supporters for making the Nature Journal show possible. We're trying to save the world and the world's biodiversity with nature journaling. You can find out more about my Patreon right here and become a member for $5 a month. What a deal. And if you can't wait all the way until next week for the next episode of the show, check out this playlist here. Bye.